Hello, English 2. Today we're going to draft our persuasive essay with a thesis and topic sentence. So find your concept map that you did yesterday in PowerPoint and go there. You should have selected one of these 5 topics. And I'm going to select number 5 for illustration. Here is my concept map. My thesis and topic and position are all right here in the circle. So I said no, students should not be allowed to drop out of high school before age 18. Then in the squares I've put my 3 main reasons which are going to serve as topic sentences for my essay. So I wrote these in complete sentences. Dropping out hurts not only the student, but society as a whole. Reason 1, reason 2, and reason 3. So let's go to Microsoft Word. Let's highlight this. So I put my cursor in the middle, highlight it, with Control A, Control C will copy. Then I can move this into Microsoft Word, which I thought that was open. I'm going to do a blank document, and now I'm going to do a paste special. Disregard that. Okay. All right. I will explain what I'm doing. My menus aren't showing here on this laptop. So I did paste special and unformatted text. And on Microsoft Word there is a menu for this. But anyway, all right. So I'm going to put my thesis right here for now and go back after I've worked through the topic sentences and fill out an introduction. This is not an introduction. All right. So that's my thesis. That's my position, and it states a clear position. In other words, I don't have both sides of the issue, I just have one side. All right, and with a peer partner today, or with me as I circle the room, you will want to discuss these reasons and how valid they are. Okay, so here's my position, and now I'm going to add reason 1, topic sentence. Dropping out hurts not only the student, but society as a whole. Okay, then I'm going to continue that, well, it's in my mind, with an example, and I would like 2 examples of why society is hurt from one dropout or from numerous dropouts. For example, most studies show that a high school dropout is more likely to be incarcerated than a graduate, let alone a college graduate. But let's just stick to the topic of high school. Okay, and then I'm going to go into that a little bit more. Okay, as to why I think that this is true. Briefly, a high school dropout might eventually turn to crime because there's really not any opportunity for someone with just 10 years of education and on. So I want to discuss these things with someone, or I want to think them through, ideally do both. Okay, so then I'd want another example of how society as a whole might be hurt. So after I've added and developed that one reason, I'm going to go in addition to add one more. In addition, the dropout may not even realize his talents, his or her talents. At that early stage in life. Okay, and then I'm going to also go into that somewhat, that if I drop out of school at age 16 or 15, I am not old enough to know what I'm good at and what society might be missing out on with me. Okay, let's move on. Go back to the PowerPoint and repeat. So we're going to repeat this for each one. So I select it, copy it, go into Word, paste it, get it in there, and formatted text so that I have my professional formatting. High school students are still children that are growing. So I've got to back that up. All right. In other words, a high school student is not mature enough to make such a big decision that, I'm just going to stop the sentence there, but I want to go on and say they're not mature enough to make such a big decision that is going to impact the rest of their lives. It's going to impact their families and their children when they have them. Okay, so I'm going to repeat my strategy. So I'm going to put more. I'm going to work through that example, and then I'm going to say also. I'm going to have another example. Also, okay, the brain is more receptive to learning when young. Okay, and then I'm just going to go more. Okay, and add on. And then I go to my third example, and I hope you're getting it. Okay, so it's my third example. Paste it into Microsoft Word and formatted text. And I've said a teen is more likely to learn faster than an adult. Indeed, that is true. So I'm just going to put here same thing. Work through this in the same way with two examples. All right, and then I want to go back, and I'm going to actually take this no out of my thesis. Here, just delete it. And just say students should not be allowed to drop out of high school. Now what I want to do now is just highlight. This is my thesis, so I'm going to highlight it with Word's highlight feature, and I can right click and see this little ghost toolbar comes up. There we go. So here's my thesis. Now do my topic sentences naturally grow out of that thesis and logically relate to it? Let's see. Highlight. This is why I want you to do this. Highlight. Highlight. Okay, so I'm going to end up, let me just put conclusion here. Okay, and that will be determined. Now you don't write the word conclusion in your own paper, but that is a placeholder. And then I'll go back later and fill out everything. But right now I just want to see. Okay, drop out of school before age 18. Why not? Dropping out hurts. It hurts society. Dropping out it shouldn't be done because high school students are still children. And finally, as for learning ability, a teen is more likely to learn faster than an adult. Okay, all of those speak to not dropping out, and then my examples speak more profoundly to that end. Okay, so this should be like this, just as in draft form, and submitted in Schoology by the end of the period before the bell rings. See you in class.